Welcome to the Changes Beconnected Virtual Conference 2023, The Future of AI and Data. It's an absolute pleasure to have each and every one of you here today. Guess what? We've just celebrated our 25th anniversary this year, and Changes stands tall as a 25-year-old data management company, proudly headquartered in the vibrant state of Michigan in the USA. So whether you're just dipping your toes or you're already knee-deep in the world of data management, we've got something special for you. Our lineup boasts industry leaders who cracked the code on various data management best practices, ready to share their insights. So no matter where you are in your journey, we've got a solution tailored just for you. But that's not all. Get ready for an exclusive chance to supercharge your skills with certification in Changes products like the Data Zap, Data Zen, Data Zens, and more. And finally, who doesn't love a good raffle? We've got some exciting prizes lined up for our attendees, courtesy of our legend Sundu, who's with us on our very first session today. So enjoy the conference, everyone. And now it's time to kickstart our first session. We'll start with a quick round of introduction of our CTO and co-founder, Sundu Rathinam. Today, I feel privileged to engage in a power-packed conversation on AI and data with our very own Sundu, who has been at the forefront of driving innovation in data management and AI. Under his leadership, Changes has made some cool products and can help you manage your data better. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to our keynote speaker, Sundu Rathinam. Over to you.
Thank you, Caroline, and very, very good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And I know there are people joining from Far East. It might be a pretty late evening for them, and really, really appreciate for everyone joining the Changes Beconnected Conference 2023. I'm so happy to be part of this. And today, the topic we're going to be discussing is unleashing the power of data. And today, data has got a clear intersection with AI. So we're going to be touching on that and pretty exclusively discuss how data management and artificial intelligence intersects, and then how we can really harness the power of both. That's what we're going to do. And stay tuned. So quick introduction, and then I want to touch on the future trends, what is going on in the overall our beautiful planet, and then what has Changes, offering is around these future trends, particularly AI and data, right? And then we're going to also, call it out how Changes is a great fit for the data-driven decisions. So we will talk about that and key takeaways. And please put your questions, all your questions, on the I think there is a chat console. Please do that, and we'll be taking the questions at the end. And so data is a new oil, which everybody today agrees. And everywhere around the world, there is a great amount of momentum around data. And every organization, be it corporate or a small scale or a government entity, public sectors, everybody are moving towards new technology. So what are the future trends? In my eyes, I see these 6 are on the top on the future. There are a lot of technologies which are going around, which we can talk about for days and weeks. And the future trends, in my eyes, I see artificial intelligence on the top. And then the cloud computing, the compute power needed today for handling the AI and all the other application needs is ever growing. And then we have the Internet of Everything. That is a trillion to the trillion to the trillion, trillions cube of IPs today made available with IPv6. And that is going to be connecting all our home and the businesses and different devices. So it's going to be, I'm so keen to see how that technology really, brings all the people together within this beautiful planet. And then robotics and automation has been going on for quite a long time. And there is a huge amount of push in this area. right? And then the cybersecurity, as we move along heavily into the cloud computing and with the Internet of Everything, cybersecurity becomes a central part because we do not want to lose our freedom. We want to ensure everything we do is within the context of, proper laws and abiding, principles and compliance, etc. So that's where the cybersecurity comes into place. And then fintech is a completely data-driven organizations. And then the blockchain is completely changing the world. Today cryptos and the blockchain technology is completely changing the way how the currencies and things are handled across the world. So today's focus is going to be artificial intelligence. And you can see on the bottom, I put also the former industrial revolution. Today, we are in the fourth industrial revolution, which is a cognitive and software. So it is all driven by the, completely unknown. People cannot see it. It's a software driving things. And it's all cognitive, how people think and act. We are trying to get that completely automated, right? And it is proven with all the great studies that is going to be close to 15% of national growth happening in our country, right here in the United States. And then we got a 26% of growth happening in China, and in Europe, seeing about 11.5 in the upward. So this is going to be, in my opinion, this is just the study today. And this is, mind blogging, it is growing phenomenal. So it is going to be even much higher. So imagine a 15% growth in the United States with artificial intelligence. So that is the kind of a thing we're talking about here. So let's stay tuned, go into the, real details of this, right? And so I'm going to go. And this is a very useful tool, which I use, the hype cycle from Gartner. I just wanted to explain this a little bit so that it is useful for everyone. They've broken all the technologies in different fields into 5 major categories. So, when you start any technology, it is in the innovation triggers phase. And then the second phase is a peak of inflated expectations, right? And then there is the throw of disillusionment. And then the fourth one is a slope of enlightenment. And then the fifth is the plateau of productivity. So those 5 phases kind of gives you, if you're in the technology and you want to keep track of the trends that is happening with the technology, I would strongly advocate looking at this. And they have a hype cycle for every technology that you are working on, right? So you can see here on the left-hand side, so there is a AI being a, when innovation is a trigger, I can say AI is considered to be a breakthrough technology, right? And out of that, you can see there is so much of AI engineering, AI simulation, casual AI, neurosymbolic, there is AI Trism, operational AI, right? Responsible AI, prompt engineering, right? There is a whole lot of beautiful things which are coming out of that, right? Generative AI. If you see, the generative AI is gone to the peak of inflated expectation. So, which all of us believe that this is going to change every aspect of our life, right? And then if it is not going to meet, obviously it is going to have a downtrend, right? So it's not a magic. We are going to quickly figure out, hey, this is not the highest hype. It cannot ride on the highest hype forever. So it's going to go down. And then there is a peak of inflated expectations, right? And then the trough of disillusionment. So where we are going to figure out, what is the reality, and then we go through, what is the proper useful use cases which are going to stay forever with us. So that is where the slope of enlightenment and the plateau of productivity gives you, that is going to stay forever. So those are, everyday life. It is going to be, so you can see, all the different technologies, how it is, currently being put together. Hope this was useful. And also there is a multiple years of existence of different technologies existing. That's also very useful for you to study. So coming to our business problem, the business problem is, how do we enable the business to become a data-driven decision-making organizations? Because there is a lot of way to make decision. I'll touch on that very shortly, the next slide. So for getting to a data-driven culture, you got to find inside the organization for the right data champions. It's very, very important to develop an organization under the leadership of a chief data officer. We have several chief data officers talking in this conference. You should go and ask as many questions to get that clarity, how they are enabling their organization to be a data-driven culture. That is the ultimate aim of every CDO. And if that mission is accomplished, that's a dream come true for every organization and also for them. Right? And hiring the right talent, very, very important. Hiring the right talent is important, because most of the studies, I just want to share my own experience. Having one good resource compared to 8 novices, just a beginners, it's all pretty equivalent. So when you're investing, invest on the right talent. Do not invest in the wrong talent, and don't keep adding too much of resources on the ground, which they're not going to be adding any value to you at all. Okay. And then the third one, experimentation, brainstorming. So this is where we put all our data ideas, right? How do we solve this bigger problem of a data-driven culture? We're going to be putting multiple experiments together and then pick and choose the right thing for the organization to succeed. That's what we're going to do. Okay. And then here, this is a pretty very useful slide, which depicts about if you look at the maturity level of any organization, which are in the process of becoming data-driven decisions, right? Initially, intuition-based decision. A lot of companies are still in that band. Intuition-based. They have some intuition. Based on that, they make decisions, and where data is not even a priority. Okay. And then there are organizations, where there is a subject matter experts. There are certain subject matter experts who are asked to make the decisions, right? So again, data is not used. SMEs, if you have a really somebody who has all the information in their head, processing in the right order, you're going to get the right decision. And then the third one, historical study-based decisions, right? So this is more of a looking at all the historical data and then trying to figure out, how do we value, the history, and then try to apply it for the current. The last most advanced, stage you want to get to is a facts and metrics-based decisions. So that's where you want to go. So you need to put yourself in your organization on which band you belong to, right? And it might be 50% there on the historical data, study, or you might be at 30% of facts and metrics, right? So that study is a, assessment of where we are is going to be helping us to move in the right direction to enable our organization to be a, data-driven organization, right? And then how do we get to that value chain? The data value creation chain. It's a continuous chain. Okay, it is never going to stop. So that is where the experimentation, identifying all your data needs, right? So you have a business problem. For that, you're trying to figure out what are all the data that I need to, bring them all together. So which is the source data. We call it as the source data. And where are these data? It can be in certain databases, it can be in file systems, it can be in a form of social media, it can be in sensors, edge devices, etc., right? And then this data cannot be used as is. It has to be cleansed, right? people miss this important piece, that the data, just bring the data and there is a magic going to happen. It's not going to be like that. You have to go through the process of cleansing the data. If you're not cleansing the data, it is not going to be readily adopted, or it's not going to be useful for processing that information for your facts and metrics based decisions, right? And then the last band here is the processing the data, right? And what model? This is where AI comes into place. You can have like a prediction, prescription, all sorts of interesting things that can come out of it. Cognitive science, a whole lot of data science which comes into place. So we can go through that in detail. But I want you to understand this basics, right? Identifying the data needs for your business problem, and then sourcing all those data, and then cleansing all those data, and then processing that data. That's a value creation. You're creating the data value within your organization. That's what it is. And this is the Changes way of working. Changes has adopted we want to be a one-stop shop for your complete, data management and AI solutions. So we have put together a platform. We've got so many different technologies, and we have brought everything into a single platform, which is a cloud-based. So it can scale up to any level, hyperscaler, and it is a hybrid computing. So you can think about, scaling up to trillions and trillions of transactions, or you can do as simple, I want to start simple and then I want to grow. You can do all of that. But the solution is going to be the same. So you have any organization, you're going to have on the left-hand side, sourcing of data, structured, unstructured, sensors, images, videos, right? All sorts of information, very high volume today. We find in many, many organizations, these data sets are becoming larger and larger, right? So we're going to take all this information, assess, we're going to do the assessment of this data. And through that, we are modeling how this data should be maintained in the data lake, right? The data lake is a storage where you want to, centrally maintain all your data. Okay. So again, data lake is a place where I want to store all my data in a centralized place, right? And it should be cheaper. It need to be scaling up, and it need to be faster in read and write and everything, right? So that is where, there is a lot of technologies today available, which we go through and we select the appropriate thing for you. It can be a hybrid too. It need not be just one single technology. It can be multiple. Okay, we can go through that in very much detail. And then once you are able to, based on the assessment, we have the proper data modeling, have the data properly ingested into the storage, and then we want to perform the data privacy, data quality. You want to make sure the data is cleansed and you're securing your data, right? Very important. Because if you do not have a proper governance of all your data, then the data can go to the wrong hands. And as we talked about, data is gold, right? It's a lot of, that is all the, hard work you put to grow your organization. Today, the value lies in that data. So you don't want to leave that data unattended or protected. You want to protect them, right? And then the data catalog gives an excellent way of creating more trust, because I have all this data, assimilated in one place. And how do I get everybody use it? I need to get them all trust this data, right? And for that, the best way to give that is the openness. Be open, be transparent, share all this information to everybody, right? So that is where the data catalog comes into place. And then the data can be shared to the right set of people with proper governance. So I can ask for certain data assets, and then let's say Larry and Sam has to look at it, and then they're going to approve it. Once it is approved, then I have access to that information, right? And with the data, you can go extremely, you can do generative AI, I can do lots of data science projects, and I can also give some interesting portals and digital applications, because do not separate data and digital. Data finally represented in a digital format is so useful for you, right? That's where the smart app builder from Chainsys kind of helps you thoroughly. And you can see the band of governance and quality across from the beginning to the end. It's a horizontal bar, okay? So that is so important across the entire spectrum. So if you look at it, data assessment, storage, privacy, cataloging, visualization, AI, and the business consumption with the digital aspects makes your organization completely data-driven. Okay? And Chainsys is nicely poised to take this journey for you, take you through this entire journey, step by step, in a seamless way with no code approach. So let us see how our model. So we put together a smart approach for your data fabric, data mesh with AI and data. And it is a very interesting slide. I don't want to go through this, but I just wanted to let you guys know this is a 5-stage process where you're going to be going through this journey in a very, very smooth manner with Chainsys to get your organization completely data-driven powerhouse. Okay? We are leaving even a smallest anything unattended. Everything is attended carefully to get you from, based on the maturity level that you might be in different aspects of data management and AI, we can come in and try to give you the essential additional values that you need to fulfill for your organization to become a completely, enabling them to make decisions based on data-driven decisions. Okay. And, if you look at how we approach, what is the Chainsys approach? It's going to be a 5-step process. There is a data assessment, and then the enterprise data movement, data quality, data catalog, and analytics. So, here, assessment is one of the, we have an AI engine which does interesting data profiling across your data assets. It can crawl through every structured application or unstructured data, and then it produces the metadata management, right? It produces a technical metadata management automatically for you. And then you can build the business glossaries on top of it, right? And you can do many other data quality checks automatically. The assessment is going to tell you whether the data is incomplete, whether this is consistent data, whether this is a clean information, whether it is a unique information. There are several checks it does, and then gives you a clear direction how to go about. Okay, because when we put all this information in a centralized place, you want to make sure you have a proper get clean and stay clean strategy, which we'll touch on very shortly. And then this is the enterprise data movement. We have a complete data integration suite, and again, no code at all, right? So because we have created that AI engine which kind of helps you to achieve the complete data movement with no coding. We have about over 10,000 plus adapters today readily available, which you can plug in and use it for all this EDM, data migration, integration, data quality, many use cases, archival activities, etc. you can do, right? So this is a data management where the Chainsys product sits in the middle, and I can extract, move the data into the data lake and into multiple, layers of data lake. You can see the bronze, silver, gold, because these consumption, the data, you want to initially have it in a more normalized, and we want to get to at the rightmost, it is going to be completely denormalized. Because that's how your AI engine or your reporting or your analytics, everything is going to consume that data very quickly. Okay. And then this is a get clean and stay clean strategy, right? Because the data, what is coming into the data lake, be harmonized. You want to harmonize as the data lands into the data lake. You do not want to leave that data, as is. You want to make sure the curation, the data is curated properly before it is getting consumed by anybody, right? So there is a proper process. The data comes in, the quality engine is a complete workflow. So there's a step-by-step it goes through. It's a very, it's more of a version controlled agile methodology that we use here. So you don't need to wait for a very long period of time to see all of these results. Okay, within 3 months, you'll be able to see that complete result for certain use cases that you're trying to solve. And then you can move on to the next, right? That's how this is going to work. And then the data catalog, if you look at it, as we talked about, bringing that trust, right? Collects and organizes all the metadata. It profiles all the information. It has a profiling algorithm to stats, the patterns, the probabilistic algorithms, right? And data registration, business glossary, very, very important, right? Because I want to identify the data asset the way the business has to read. Because business want to see that information in the easiest way. And you can do this. I see many times people are struggling to even get started with such a project. For years, they do planning, which is not required. In my humble opinion, it is completely not required. You should, when you know that for clarity, this is how you do it, you just get started, right? So that is very, very important also. Keep that in mind. And then the data governance, identifying, regulating all the sensitive information, and being a data citizen, like bringing all the people embracing into this journey is very, 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 very important. And data citizens are one of the most critical roles where they're going to be looking at whatever results, changes, cataloging engine is going to provide, and then they have an opinion. They can share their opinion about whether the system has given the information correctly or not, be it a lineage, be it a relationship, or be it any tags, ML tags that we are creating. Everything, citizens have an input into it, right? And then the table relationships, lineage, AI-assisted data tagging, right? So all of that makes this as a complete standalone data cataloging that you can solve problems for across any on-prem legacy applications, the entire cloud applications, all the unstructured data. We've done some great work on this. I think the upcoming sessions you're going to be hearing a lot. And then the last, the data analytics with the AI ML. So we've perfected this model to do, we are solving some very, 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 very huge problems today, right? With the current AI and machine learning algorithms. So we can bring that, all of those studies, like if it is, you're trying to do a spend analytics, you want to put together a supplier catalog, you want to do an extensive work around CX, like giving all the essential information to all your C-level people. You want to solve your costing issue. I want to solve my important operational issue in my manufacturing, right? Every organization has got unique, and we have a templatized solution for all of these with the AI and ML focus, right? So that is going to be super useful for you to give to the business something they need to see, okay? And these are some of our customers. So you're not the first one to join the band, right? So we are a 25-year-old company and having perfected development over the last 2 decades. Very organic company, no investors from outside. We are driving this from bottom up, right? So every employee is a owner of this organization, right? So we have a great passion and a great technology and a very, very, very strong engineering organization on which we are ready. So we have many Fortune 100 companies as our customers, and we have met their dream come true. Okay, so I just wanted to share this info. And then this is a quick thing about ChangeSys. And I know we wanted to get into also a chat session, more questions. But quickly, it is a great journey of 25 years. And I'm so happy to be part of this journey, and founded this in 1998. And today, 25 years is gone like a very, very quick time frame, 25 minutes, because of the very, very good people I work with. So these are amazing people whom I work with, right? So that is the reason this has become so successful. I got the best engineering organization built over the time. And there is a very, very solid, advisory, architecture, implementation, training, and support. All of this available worldwide too. So today we understand our responsibility is not just United States, or Europe or Asia. We cover all the Far East, Middle East, everywhere. We are there, okay? And this is a journey where we started in 98, and we started with our ERP product. And today our main focus for the last several years has been AI and ML. Okay. And one important thing about AI, we applied AI from the very initial stage, where we for creating our application to be a no-code application, we applied AI. So that is where we created an engine which is going to be helpful for assessment, consolidation, harmonization, governance, analytics, cataloging, everything. All of those processes today are embedded into our engine. So that is where it becomes so easy for you to get started. So it is like you get like almost 80% completion at the head start. You get that head start right away. So that is the beauty of this platform, right? What we bring together. And this is the platform, Data Zap Zen catalog across the band, right? Smart data platform, and then the smart business or digital platform. So data and digital plus AI embedded makes it so compelling for making your organization data-driven enterprise. That's all we want to make it. We want to enable to make your organization a data-driven enterprise. And these are some of the endpoint connectors. Like we have over 200 plus endpoints that we connect to, and we can work with any technology today to draw the data, right? And then key takeaway out of this, very, very important, unleashing the power of data is going to be, you have to intersect the data and AI. It is non-separable. It is both together intersects to get you there, right? And then Chainsys offers a clean and no-code platform for enabling your organization to become a data-driven decisions. And then the 5 critical steps that we go through for doing that is data assessment, data consolidation, data quality, data catalog, and data analytics. So we provide end-to-end one single platform which is going to help you to do all of this. And out of that, you get significant cost and time savings. And I love that because I want to do it a little cheaper and I want to do it quicker, more quicker. I want things to happen quicker. That's what this enables you to do. And then exceptional product quality out of 20 plus years of extreme engineering talent. What you are getting is exceptional product quality. Okay. And then streamlined and efficient data management processes. It's not just the technology, the processes that has been laid out has been very thorough. So when you're implementing this solution, you will be, you'll be guided from the step 1 through all the way, right? And then last but not the least, we bring a very passionate, humble, and a knowledgeable team, which is very, very important. Knowledge and humbleness should go together, right? So it's very, 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 very important. And then, last but not the least, join the data movement. We are moving in with the very focused of simplification and empowerment to everybody in the organization. And again, thank you for considering Chainsys as your data-driven partner. And we look forward to unlock all the potential for you, right? So that's a key takeaway for you. And with that, I just wanted to move on to the next session chat. I just want to have a quick chat with Caroline. I know she has questions and stuff, which love to give her some. So this way you can get to know me a little bit, and then also about the Chainsys and our directions, missions, etc. Go ahead, Caroline.
Great. Thank you so much, Sindhu, for that. I'm thrilled to have a chat with you and delve into the heart of Chainsys and its mission in the realm of data and AI. So I have some burning questions. I think most of them will all be wanting to ask you this. I understand you've already given us a quick overview of Chainsys and its mission in the world of data and AI. But what inspired you to start Chainsys? And what has been the driving force behind your passion for data management and AI?
Oh, that's a great question. The mission for Chainsys why Chainsys is an organization like Chainsys disrupts the status quo of many things happening in the world, because you need many like underdogs to come in and create something newer, vision, newer technologies. That was the main mission. And specifically, why we started specializing in data management and AI solution is to empower organization to leverage their data effectively, and make informed decisions, because if the decisions are poor, it is going to be very bad for the humanity. So we don't want that. So that is another social binding on this as well, and drive business growth through innovative technology. There's so much of technology today available. Take advantage of that. That's where we are focusing on data management, AI, and it has come out extremely powerful platform, Caroline, and I hope you agree with me. And that's where we are trying to take this organization forward.
Absolutely. Great, Sandhu. And also, can you share some insight into challenges organizations typically face in managing the data effectively? And how does Chainsys, address these challenges?
There are multiple challenges depending on the organizations they go through. But one common thing I've seen is data silos. So data is not organized very well together. So it is not, they don't have a proper cataloging or brought the data into a consolidated. I'm not saying all the organizations, but majority, right? So data silos becomes a big problem. And then the data quality, it's overlooked all the time, because the data becomes old. What happens is over the time the data becomes stale, right? So it needs a continuous maintenance. It's not otherwise it's going to be of no use. So that data quality issues is one thing keeps me up at night. And then the complexity of managing diverse data sources, because there is going to be unstructured data, there's going to be structured, there is information today, IoE, Internet of Everything, IoT, the smaller set within IoEs. IoT itself is a big thing, edge devices. There is a whole lot of data. You just imagine every home producing so much of data today. Even the kids are producing so much of information today out of their cell phones, etc., etc. So that diversity of data sources, and Chainsys today is at a very right place to harness all of this data in a consolidated data store and produce a unified solution for you. That's where I see the challenges and the solution as well. I don't want to just tell you the challenges and leave it. Just wanted to also give you the solution too. Yeah.
Great. So before I move on to my next questions, I would like to encourage our attendees to also shoot in your questions in the Q&A box. I'll bring them up in between. And Sindhu, in your experience, how have businesses benefited from Chainsys' platform in terms of cost saving and improved decision making?
No, see, most important thing is reliability of any solution. You need to have a reliable, scalable, repeatable solution that you can first put together, right? And then the data today expectation is, because we want to get to close to a real time, all this information, right? And and also, we don't want to, kill ourselves by investing like a extreme amount of money and not getting the returns, because ROI is very important. Sometimes people get so carried away thinking that, oh, I'm going to put like billions of dollars into this, and by some magic I'm going to get like trillions of money back. It doesn't happen like that. So it's a common sense, right? You got to look at the problem. You want to get a reliable, and that's where savings of cost and time. You need to try to make this into an agile methodology and ensure that you're going to get success every 3 months, and watch it closely before you're trying to go put a lot more money into it. Okay, that's very important. So you need the reliable product, partner, and the processes, everything you need it. And then very important, getting also the team prepared. Internal team prepared is very important.
Great.
Like I touched on the very first slide, right? Building an organization and champions, and do not settle for novices. People, you need to have some, experts. I mean, not experts, even experienced, right people. They can they are equivalent to 10 novices in an organization. Okay, so that's how I see this.
Great. Sundar, we have a question here from one of our attendees, Dr. Suresh Rajput. How do you envision leveraging generative AI?
So generative AI is pretty common today. It's reached the top of the hype cycle. You can imagine there is every possible APIs and things available. What we have done, we have plugged in the generative AI and into our platform. So we're at the last milestone when all the data is consolidated and maintained in one place, and then there's a catalog of all this data assets, metadata information, all the relationships, and several data assets also indexed. So there is a need for I wanted to connect the dots of all this information. And for doing that, earlier I need to do a lot more, bringing that information into my memory, this thing, But now, even though the generative AI is going to be adding, you need a heavy compute for that. Please don't, take that away. You need to invest on the compute, but you can get that information beautifully, all the information, whatever I'm looking for in terms of lineages, how this data is connected, what are the sales order happen. Like, for example, if I'm throwing in an information, what happened to this project? So it can, through the catalog and the data assets, all consolidated information, it can give me all the information all tied around that in a quickest, within a fraction of a few seconds. So that is where I see there is a humongous growth happening in the generative AI. And whatever information today people have, like, for example, if I have a lot of good, proposals, which I have, and I want to create a new proposal, I don't need to start from the scratch. If I give that instruction to the generative AI, it's going to give me something using all my repository. It gives me back a nice information that I can start from. So it gives a very good head start. Again, like Chain says, we're trying to make it no code, give you an 80% head start. Generative AI gives you a great head start that you would really love, right? So that's where it is.
Great. I have another question, Sundar, from one of our attendees. What was one of the most interesting customer business use cases Chains has solved?
There are plenty of things that we have solved for a customer. I don't want to say this versus that. Then it means I'm differentiating my own kits, right? And as I told, people come to us with different problems because one of the critical thing is we do a holistic study of making sure understand their current situation and where they need to go, and providing them that clarity, and then the tool sets for them to reach there, and then the expert advisory or the right architects who can help them to reach along, taking them along is very, very, very important. And many problems around unstructured data, I can put as the most challenging ones today going around. And then the AI compute power is, unbelievable, right? So there is a huge amount of opportunity which is yet to be harnessed. So again, there is another huge amount of, challenges that we are, currently working on.
Great. Collaboration and teamwork are often crucial in data management projects. How does Chains facilitate collaboration among various stakeholders to achieve data excellence? Sundar?
So, collaboration is a very, very important word, right? And for that to happen, there is something, you need to have total transparency. And then most important, the data have to come into a centralized hub, okay? And because if it is kind of in silos, it becomes, impossible for you to share the information to anyone, right? So you need to consolidate all the information into one place, centralized hub, as we talk, right? And then obviously there need to be real-time communication tools, audit trails, because I want to have total transparency and accountability across the organization. So that transparency and accountability, underline that word, is very, 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 very important. So who did what? What was this about? So data can easily produce all those facts, right? So that is where the organization should move along. So it kind of brings everybody together. We cannot compel, you cannot say, oh, we want to be a collaborative organization, that's our culture. It need to be, culture means what? Culture have to be auto generated. It forms by itself. It doesn't form by me going and giving a lecture. Right? Thank you.
Thank you, Sundu. Sundu, we have another attendee have asked us a few questions. How AI can help for predictive analytics using Chains's data management projects?
We have several predictive analytic, engines, algorithms available within our platform, so which you can immediately use, and we can also create certain specific algorithms for your needs. Right. Today we are solving for some of the very, very large enterprises and even for government agencies to solve their budgeting issues or their critical financial problems, and to figure out where the biggest pilferages of all their cost. Where should they control the pilferages? How do they every organization need to look at that, right? So one is increasing the revenue. The other one is you need to cut short your pilferages. There is so much of leakages happening in your organization. How productive you are, how much can you solve those issues? So that is going to be over, I can say, many organizations, mind-blogging. We find very, very huge opportunity there. So prediction can help you in those kind of areas very, very quickly. And we're doing it for many enterprises and, and a fraudulent activity. It's a very, it can predict who's what. Basically, it's a very simple. If you track the exact timing of all the transaction one way after, you'll know exactly what is going on, right? So those are very important as well. Yeah.
Great. If an organization wants to move to data-driven organization, how Chainsys helps in terms of product and experts? That's one of the questions.
I think you need an organization like Chainsys to help you. You need to start looking at what you want to be. Very important. You need to clearly have your objectives and line them with your business goals as well. So it's not just because Sundu is saying it, you should not do that. So you're aligning this. All the data objectives have to be clearly aligned to your business goals. Number one, okay, and then partner with experts like Chainsys, because they bring in all the experience, products, processes, people, all they want. To implement a robust data strategy, you need to create a data strategy. And then, when you're implementing that strategy, that's where you make a data-driven decisions, a core part of your organization's culture. Through this, your culture also changes. We talked about that 4 bands, right? So one is like a completely making a decision intuitive. The second one, through the SMEs, and then the third one through the historical data, and then the fourth one based on the facts and metrics. So that is where a matured organization should be at. Okay.
Great. And about data standardization, how AI will handle the data transformation into common data set in Chainsys data management project?
I didn't follow the question. What is that?
Okay. About data standardization, how does AI handle the data transformation into common data sets in Chainsys DMP? They've asked. I think that's data management
platform, right? So standardization is something like there are a lot of industry, standards within the data. For example, UN spec, or there is a lot of information about the address information, or you talk about taxation, or you talk about the federal IDs, or talk about DNB. So it's a whole lot of these sorts of data, which is very important for us to standardize. And Chainsys offers out-of-the-box solution for address standardization, and likewise, it can standardize the UN spec. So many industrial data sets, and also your physical address information and other related information can be standardized, because as part of the harmonization, so one of the things is that cleansing the data and making the information accurate, and then as part of the accuracy, the standardization is a very key element for enabling your accuracy of the data. Otherwise, if your address information, telephone information, or et cetera, is incorrect, then it is going to be not, it can be a life-saving thing also. Sometimes if I've given a wrong address and I'm expecting an ambulance to come show up, and how is that? It's going to be a life or death situation. So that's where these standardizing the data is so critical. Okay. But again, it depends on your industry, your, that's where I was talking about defining your data objectives should align with your business goals. What type of industry, what does it make sense for you? That's what you need to practice. Thank you. Caroline?
Thank you, Sindhu. I'm sorry. So I'm coming back here. Can you provide some examples of successful implementations where changes has had a significant impact on an organization's data management and AI initiatives?
I can tell you there are many organizations which are today going successful with changes. We are so glad about that. I recall a recent very large manufacturing company start streamlining their supply chain, because supply chain is close to my heart. Supply chain operations completely streamlined, resulting in a huge cost savings and improved delivery times, right? So that's amazing. If you can do that, like keeping it on time and your quality, highest quality products, created, what more you can. So the streamlining the supply chain is one of the key thing. I think the data can really harness and produce that results for you. And we achieved that for recently for a very large manufacturing organization. We can talk about that in detail if anybody's interested.
Thank you. And so how do you see the future of data and AI evolving, and how is Change is positioning itself to stay at the forefront of these developments?
There is immense potential today, for anybody to look at data or AI. There is an immense potential. This is the next decades. As it showed the growth of every country. This is digit growth, so which is unbelievable, unheard of, right? So there is a significant growth happening in this area, right? And Changes is at the very right place at the right time. So we have created these products. It's not something overnight. Created this for the last over 17 plus years just on the data management. So all this no-code platform, the adapters, and the end-to-end, the holistic platform is going to really stay strong. We're going to continuously keep investing, right? So we are continuously innovating and stay in the forefront. We want to stay in the forefront and leveraging every new emerging, because technology is emerging so fast here, right? And then we want to provide very powerful, scalable solutions to our clients. That's what we want to be.
Thank you, Sandhu. And finally, what advice would you give to organizations looking to embark on the data-driven journey? And how can you get started? How can they get started with changes? I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think I answered this in the previous question, but again, because it's a very important question. You need to have clear, objectives laid out, data objectives laid out, and that need to align to your business goals. That is where you start. Okay, so you need to put all your ideas into these are the data objectives, and a partner like Changes can come in from the very beginning, help you to start that journey, and then hold your hand to continually get you to the finish line. And then even beyond the finish line, if we need to do multiple other re-engineering, so we will give you a complete data engineering. And we're not just throwing a platform, a product that you need to be, even if there is an additional engineering needed on top of that, we are flexible to add that piece, because many times we find this is a unique things we have to do for every customer, and we will sign up very, very clear non-disclosures and so many contracts and stuff like that to keep that unique thing done only for you. So that way you get the very customized, excellent data engineering solution for what you're looking for. Okay.
Thank you so much, Sundu. I think we are bang on time. And thank you for this insightful session on unleashing the power of data, a strategic approach to data management and AI integration. So we've actually gained a deeper understanding of how Chainsys is revolutionizing data management and AI integration. So before I conclude, I would like to remind everyone about the upcoming sessions and events at this conference. Don't miss your chance to win these amazing prizes as well at the raffle. You can just go back to the session page and join the next session, which would start in the next couple of minutes. And thank you all for joining, and see you all soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sandhu.